Yes, so this video is not clickbait. You thought the makeup no buy was going to be over in April and then that was just kind of gonna be it. But no. I guess I should just jump right into what this video is because obviously the title has already revealed it. I am going on a low buy for 2020. I really wanted to make this video before 2020 actually hit, but I just didn't have the time. So when I'm currently filming this, it is January 6th, I believe, and I have already started this low buy, but this is my official announcement here on YouTube. For those who don't know, I am currently in the process of doing a makeup no buy that is technically over in April. That's obviously going to continue, and it's not just going to be makeup for me this year. I am doing a low buy for literally like my entire life pretty much. I've been thinking about this for a while. I have been inspired by quite a few different YouTubers here on the platform who either did low buys last year in 2019 and are doing them again in 2020 or are doing them in 2020 for the first time. And I'm loving that YouTube is kind of shifting from like the consumer trend where we just like buy everything and we kind of like that's all we do, to where it's now switching to really this like, I don't even want to call it a trend because I hope it's permanent, but it's shifting to just this new viewpoint of like low buys and no buys and realizing honestly that most of us have everything that we need to live. So yes, until January 1st of 2021, I am going to be going on a low buy. Obviously, I can't do a no buy. I am an adult, I'm financially independent, I have to spend money on certain things. But in today's video, I wanna go over kind of why I'm doing this, the rules that I'm setting for myself, and also every single month I'm gonna be doing a low buy update. So I wanna talk about what those update videos are going to include as well. If you guys are doing a low buy this year or you're interested in doing one, leave me a comment down below. Let's start a discussion. For those who are doing a low buy like myself, let's cheer each other on because I know that this year is definitely going to be a challenge. It's going to have its ups and downs, but I'm super ready. I'm like ready to conquer 2020. Am I the only one? I just feel like it's gonna be such a good year. It already is a really good year so far, but like I'm just ready. And I wanted to set some challenges for myself and some goals, and this is like definitely one of the main ones. Also, I'm really sorry if my voice sounds a little different. I feel like I still kind of have my morning voice, so it's slightly lower and a little bit more raspy than it usually is. Anyways, I want to just kind of jump into the video, and I want to start by talking to you guys about why I am doing this low buy for 2020. The first major reason is I want to prep and plan for complete financial flexibility and freedom in 2021. Let me explain what that means. So, for those who don't know, I currently work a full-time job. I work at Stuart Weitzman, but my main goal is to be an actress and be in the music business. I technically already am an actress. I've done a national tour, I've done an off-Broadway show, I'm technically a musician and a music artist as well. I released my first single last year, but I want more time to really go all in and not really have to worry about having a full-time job. Because to be totally transparent with you guys, this takes up most of my time. I work 40 to 45 hours a week, depending on the week. And then I also spend probably 10 to 12 hours a week on my YouTube channel. And then I also spend another probably 10 to 12 hours a week on my acting stuff as well. That's not even throwing in the time that I spend to like work out and work on my fitness, meal prep, spend time with my boyfriend, my dog, and my friends. So I'm busy and I love being busy. However, there's a difference between having a pretty stacked schedule and having no flexibility in your schedule. And that's where I'm kind of at right now, which right now I don't really have a problem with it. However, I know that that's not a sustainable way to live. One of the main reasons I'm doing this low buy is to challenge myself to just save, and pocket away as much money as possible from all of the different jobs that I have, including my full-time job, YouTube, babysitting, any sort of acting gigs that happen to pay, and I just want to save, pocket that all away so that when 2021 comes, even if I still have to have a part-time job, that at least alleviates my schedule a really good bit so that I have time to actually pursue what I want to do in life. And not just that, I really want more time to like be able to spend with my boyfriend and my friends as well, because where I'm at right now with my schedule, I honestly, I mean, I live with my boyfriend, so I obviously see him a lot, but as far as like my friends go, I really don't get to see them that often. And being busy is good, but being over busy isn't cute. Nobody likes the friend that is always busy and like they can't do anything with them. So that's the first reason I'm doing this low buy, is to prepare for financial freedom and flexibility in 2021. This next one is kind of vague, but I still wanted to mention it because it is a goal for me that, while it's vague, is still easy for me to visualize. I feel like in the next few years, there are going to be quite a few like bigger life events that I really want to prep for and be able to financially fund for myself. So a few examples of that. The one that's probably coming up like the closest to where I am right now is I want to be able to move into a much bigger apartment by the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. This is something that me and Kevin have been talking about a lot. We love our current apartment, but it's definitely time to upgrade to something a little bit bigger. We want to look in the same neighborhood, but we just want more space. We want more natural lighting. We want more room for Dakota to run around. And then, you know, even planning like farther ahead into the future, you know, eventually I'm gonna be planning a wedding. Now, don't get ahead of yourselves. I'm not engaged. We're not planning on getting engaged anytime soon, but it would be naive of me to not think about that stuff. And I'm somebody who prides myself on being financially independent, and I do not want anybody else contributing to my wedding, because that means that like they have a say in how it's going to go down. So I want to be able to fund that. I want to be able to really take some trips in the next like few years or so. Speaking of moving, while doing this low buy, it means that I'm not going to be bringing in like nearly as much stuff as I do at the moment. And by not bringing in a lot of stuff, what I want to be able to do is go through literally every single thing that I own and do a big apartment declutter, probably in the middle of this year, in order to prepare for a big move at the end of this year or at the beginning of next. Moving in New York can be complicated. It can be expensive, and I want to only move with the necessities that I need. So I feel like by setting this no buy for myself, it's gonna automatically make me be much more mindful of the things that I'm bringing into my life, and just gonna make moving a lot easier. And finally, the last reason that I am doing this low buy is to stop the mindless shopping and fill that time with something else. Personally, I do not feel like I have necessarily a shopping problem. That's not the reason why I'm doing this low buy, but I am someone who enjoys some retail therapy. If I happen to have a day off and I'm bored and I don't really know what to do, I tend to gravitate to stores. And while there's nothing wrong with a little window shopping, I always end up taking something new home with me that, while I might love it for the first week or so, eventually I'm kind of like, why did I buy this again? And although I currently don't spend like a crazy amount of time shopping, I just feel like by cutting it out almost completely, I will free up my schedule a good bit, and that's gonna allow for a bit more flexibility in my schedule. It'll allow me to, you know, spend more time with friends, focus on my fitness more, because that's something that I love, but sometimes it can be really hard to fit it into my schedule. So those are my goals and my whys. So now I want to talk about what I'm allowed to spend my money on, what I'm not allowed to spend my money on, and what I can spend it on in moderation. All right, so let's talk about what I can definitely spend money on. I'm allowed to spend money on my baseline living expenses and necessities. So I have a few different budget spreadsheets that I use, and one in particular is for what I call my baseline expenses. So these are the living expenses and life expenses that I cannot live without living here in New York City. I'm actually gonna go through them and tell you guys what they are, so that way I'm not only like keeping myself accountable for like what I am, you know, kind of like restricted to, and also just so that you guys can be informed as well. And if you're building a budget, maybe this will be helpful. Obviously, I have to spend money on rent every single month, as well as Con Edison. My boyfriend pays for the Wi-Fi every month. I pay for Con Ed, so that's kind of how we split up the utilities. Trupanion I pay for every month, which is my dog Dakota's health insurance. I'm allowed to pay for a Metro card every single month, as well as cycling classes. Cycling classes to me are definitely a necessity. You cannot put a price on your health, and it's something that's very, very important to me. I don't pay for a gym membership. I have a gym in my apartment, so the money that I save by not paying for a gym membership, I put towards my cycling classes. And then, while this might not seem like a baseline expense, I'm just gonna explain why I have it on here. And that is my nails. I get my nails done twice a month, and to be totally honest, I don't spend a lot of money on a lot of like beauty self-care things just because I can do them myself. I cut and color my hair by myself. I obviously do my makeup myself, I give myself pedicures and all that jazz, but getting my nails done is just something that I love, and I just feel really pampered when I go. I go to a really affordable salon here in the city. I work a lot with my hands. I'm on camera where you can see my nails all the time. When I'm working at Stuart Weitzman, I'm showing shoes to customers, I'm pointing out things. They're gonna look at my nails, it's kind of inevitable. So that's why my nails are on my baseline expenses budget. It's, you know, really something that isn't super expensive. It's not harming my finances in any way, and if it's not doing damage, I feel like it's okay to leave it on there. And then I quickly want to talk about my subscription services. This is kind of under my baseline expenses too, because all of these have a purpose. So I pay for Amazon Prime every month. I pay for Billy every 2 months, which is a razor and like shaving subscription. It saves a ton of money. The razors are so cheap. Scribed, which is a website where I get a lot of sheet music from, so for auditions, this is very necessary. Dropbox, I use this a lot for business purposes, communicating and sending files via like to my agent, to my acting agent. For music stuff, I use it all the time. AMC A-listers, so my boyfriend and I both pay for the AMC movie theater subscription every single month. It's $24 a month, and you can see up to 3 movies every single week. To me, this is a very necessary expense. This is kind of how like I get my entertainment on a budget, if that makes sense, because movie theater tickets in New York are so incredibly expensive. They can literally be like, I think up to $20 at times, which is insane. Probably more sometimes if you want to see like IMAX or something. And then these next 2 expenses are subscriptions, I guess, but they're not monthly. So Backstage.com, I pay for that once a year. That is one of the ways that I network myself for acting. It's also how I find auditions. And then I'm a member of the Actors Equity Association, and I have dues that I have to pay twice a year. So those are all of my baseline necessary expenses. It might sound like a lot, but to be honest, I'm very careful with my budget, and it really doesn't come to anything crazy. I really do think that for living in the heart of Manhattan, I actually don't spend that much a month. Okay, so that was kind of the first thing to get through. I know that that rule took a while to explain, but basically, yes, I am primarily sticking to my baseline expenses budget, and anything that is not on that list, I won't really be purchasing. If you were listening, you probably realized that I don't have taxis or Ubers factored in to my monthly budget. That's honestly because I rarely ever take them. Like I said, I live in the heart of Manhattan, so I either take the subway or I walk. But under the things that I am allowed to purchase occasionally, I am allowed to take a taxi if need be up to twice a month. I also put on here that I can only eat out once a week. I'm not somebody who eats out that often, but I figure it's just good to put this on the list anyways. I meal prep a lot, but on the occasion that I don't, or I, you know, like forget or run out of time, it means that I have to buy lunch, you know, when I'm out and about, and that can just get so expensive. And the money that I'm spending on like a $20 lunch, I could just like put it into my savings. So I'm only gonna eat out once a week max, if anything. I am not purchasing any new clothing or shoes this year unless gifted them for free. This is a big one. I am not someone who spends a lot on clothing or purchases clothing that often, but I do enjoy the occasional little pickup. However, I am not going to be purchasing any new clothing this year. I have absolutely everything that I need in my closet, and so like I said, I'm not gonna be getting anything unless it's gifted to me for free. Occasionally I have companies send me certain things to try out. I also work at Stuart Weitzman, where I do get free shoes every season because I am a full-time employee. I am not going to be purchasing any new makeup, skincare, or hair care unless I need to replace a product in my collection and have no backups of that product. This is kind of the same as like the rules for the makeup no buy that I'm doing this year, but basically I'm not going to be purchasing any new beauty products unless I need to replace something and I don't have a backup. So for example, let's say I run out of my eyebrow pencil and I run out, but I still have one more that I can use. I'm gonna go through both, and then I'm gonna go and pick up a new eyebrow pencil. I also wanted to mention that I'm also going to be collecting all of the makeup, skincare, and hair care products that I go through this year. I really just want to see how much I can go through in a year when I'm not bringing anything new in. So I am going to be collecting all of that, and then at the end of 2020, I'm going to be doing a makeup empties video for the entire year, as well as a skincare and hair care empties. So it'll be separated into 2 parts. The last rule that I have for myself is any and all extra purchases outside of the baseline expenses budget need to be documented and justified. We're only taking purposeful purchases. All right, so what this means is at the end of December, I purchased a really cute little moleskin notebook for myself. It's like this big, it's mini, it's so cute. There's a pen that attaches to the side. And I delegated that as my no-buy slash like financials notebook. So anytime I make a purchase that is outside of the baseline expenses budget, so for example, let's say an eyebrow pencil, I'm going to document it in my low-buy journal, and I'm gonna write down how much it cost, what the item was, and why I truly needed it. I think it's just gonna help me see and make sure that everything I'm purchasing is purposeful and is necessary to benefit my life. I am definitely a visuals person. Visuals really help me, so I feel like that notebook is really gonna be something that I cherish for the whole year. And I think it will kind of be cool to look back on at the end of this year too, and I will actually have like a physical, tangible record of everything that I spent my money on. Okay, so those are the why, like my reasons and the rules for this low buy. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm gonna be doing monthly updates. So pretty soon after I post this video, the January update will go up. And so those are gonna be going up every single month of this year, January through December of this year. So I wanna talk to you guys about kind of what you can expect to hear in those videos. So my update videos are always going to start with a general update about the month. Was it challenging? Was it easy? What roadblocks did I encounter? Just kind of a general overview of what happened financially, not just like life events that happened, because we're saving that for the 2020 recap at the end of this year. I'm going to go through the complete list of all of my unexpected purchases. I'll show you guys them in my moleskin notebook. We'll talk about them and have a little chit chat. And then I'm going to tally up all of the unexpected purchases, and I'm gonna let you guys know what the total cost of those purchases were. Kind of being an open book and giving you guys a peek into my finances, I think it's just gonna keep me more accountable for this challenge, and hopefully it's also really interesting for you guys to watch as well. Super random side note, I really wanna mention this and I almost forgot. There is a clothing haul that I probably like just uploaded by the time you're watching this video. All of those clothing pieces were purchased in December of 2019 before the low buy officially started, so don't come yelling at me in the comments saying like, oh Ruby, you already broke your low buy. Like, no. I purchased those items because I knew I was gonna be doing this low buy, and there were just a few more things that I wanted to pick up that I really thought I needed in my closet in order to kind of have a complete wardrobe for 2020, one that I didn't need to like add anything else into. Okay, so there we have it. That is the whole video. That was a lot of information. If you watched this whole video, kudos. Thank you. I know it was a lot of information. I hope it was interesting. That's kind of everything that I have to say in today's video. So now you guys know I'm going on a low buy. You know the why, you know the reasons, you know the rules, you know what to expect. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking forward to my monthly updates, as well as all of my other regular content, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Help me grow the Ruby Rocks the World channel. It would mean the absolute world to me. Follow me on all my social media networks. Links are always in the down bar below. I hope that you guys are having an awesome day, night, afternoon, whenever you all are watching this video, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Okay? Bye everybody.